Up next is the Desert Eagle. This pistol is actually pretty similar to the Magnum. It has small magazines of only 7 bullets. It does 50 to 30 damage with each shot. That means 2 bullets to kill up close and 4 at long distance. If you throw on stopping power, it becomes 2 up close and 3 at long distance. So again, like the Magnum, stopping power isn't your optimal choice, but with the Deagle, it's actually not a horrible choice either. I don't know about you guys, but I was pissed when the devs didn't include the Golden Deagle, or any golden camos for that matter. It was little things like that in COD 4 that we loved, and they didn't include it, damn it! I would have loved to use the Golden Deagle once again, because not only did it look cool, it was fun to do well with it.
I love gold!
Anyway, the solo version of the Desert Eagle, or Deagle as you'll commonly hear it called, is crap. The recoil is atrocious, though I will say in practice it's not too hard to perfect. The recoil makes it almost an identical warped 7 with each shot. If you aim down and to the left of your enemy's chest, the recoil will naturally drift onto your enemy's head. Still, it's pretty bad. I actually go so far as to only fire the solo version from the hip with stopping power to ease the pain until I get different attachments. To make matters even worse, the irons are misaligned. I'm not sure how you screw that up, but the devs did. The akimbo version of the Deagle, however, is where this gun shines. There's one thing the Deagles have over the Magnums, and that's superior stats for firing 2 guns from the hip. You have 7 bullet magazines rather than 6, and because of this you get a little bit more ammo overall, and the reload time is quicker. Granted, you need stopping power to kill with 3 bullets at a distance, but you get the same smallest crosshairs in the game as the Magnum. This is the most solid version of the gun that I really recommend, though I will admit reload times again are still pretty slow overall, so stick to sleight of hand to help negate this. Before I leave the Akimbo Deagles, I've always had a bone to pick with this. I know the devs put this pistol in the game because it has a very sleek look that is honestly cool to look at. But come on, there's a reason no one uses this pistol in real life combat. Its recoil is so large that you can barely handle it. Firing 1 is hard enough, but 2 with 1 in each hand? Your character must have bionic hands. I'm not saying you can't have Akimbo Desert Eagles. Rather, I was expecting to hear reactions like this when you fire them.
I'm dying! I must be dying!
Anyway, the last version is the tack knife. Take my word for it, just use the Magnum with the tack knife if you honestly want a tack knife pistol. The recoil of the solo Deagle is still there, so it's a frustration to try to kill with bullets. Oddly though, the irons are aligned properly here, and I swear the recoil looks the same as the solo version. So use this over the solo version if you honestly want to use a lone Deagle. The breakdown of these weapons is a bit more simple than in my previous reviews. They're similar enough that a stat breakdown isn't really useful in my opinion. Here's what you need to remember. Remember that each of these are poor choices to go solo, each is a good choice akimboed, although the Desert Eagles are slightly better, and the Magnum is the superior choice for the tack knife. Okay, now we're going to move into the stopping power pistols. Hold on one second. We need some appropriate music. Aha, there we go. Alright, up first is the USP-45. This pistol does 40 damage up close, 25 at max range. This translates to 3 bullets to kill up close and 4 at max range. If you throw on stopping power, it becomes 56 damage up close and 35 at max range, which reduces the required bullets to kill to 2 up close and 3 at max range. You lower your number of bullets to kill at all ranges, which is why I call this a stopping power pistol. You aren't bound to stopping power, but you really would be better off picking an all-purpose pistol if you're not using stopping power. And because of this, I'm going to talk about this pistol assuming you picked stopping power. This pistol brings the widest range of options for how to play. First, this is arguably the best solo pistol with FMJ, as it brings solid effective range, recoil, and magazine size, coming in at 12 bullets. The irons are clear and really is a good fit for the Barrett or Intervention as a secondary. This pistol has what I feel is the best overall spread in its bullets. It can sustain a high rate of fire with relatively low recoil compared to the other pistols. I know you sometimes have to go with no attachment, but you really should take FMJ over extended mags if you're using the solo version of this pistol. I've never had a situation where I was screaming because 12 bullets wasn't enough. This weapon isn't meant for prolonged combat, even though it's actually pretty good at it, so extended mags really is a waste. The USP can also be used silenced. This really reminds me of Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. The only problem is, I don't have any Metal Gear Solid clips or games, so no fancy quotes this time. This is the only pistol in the game that has a functioning silencer, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a bit. But that makes this the only pistol that can go silenced, and thus is the best silenced pistol.
It's no hassle. But, all I'm saying, they're gonna get knock knock. Who's there?
The silencer really kills the effective range though, so in my opinion I'd really recommend a silenced machine pistol instead of using this. I know it sounds like I'm singing the praises about the USP, but it's also a good fit for the akimboed version. However, it kinda needs steady aim. It's not mandatory, but definitely helps. Without steady aim, it's always been hard for me to choose. On the one hand, I'd like to place my shots with the solo USP, since it's good at doing so. But the akimbo version is just plain fun, and effective too, even without steady aim. If we back up to the grand scheme, the all-purpose pistols are better for going akimboed without steady aim, but regardless, the akimbo USPs are very effective, just like the all-purpose pistols, because you can do some definite room clearing. Adding to the akimbo USP power, there's a glitch that's actually quite advantageous. Just on these pistols, the time between knives is quicker than normal, and is basically knifing at tack knife speed.
Ooh, there's a good one.
It's not really an exploit, and doesn't make too big a difference, but it's a good trick to know. The last version is the tack knife, and I don't recommend using the tack knife on the USP. Maybe it's just me, but the visual recoil is stronger than just the solo version, and I prefer to use lightweight when using the tack knife, meaning the Magnum is a better choice. It's not that you can't do well with the USP and tack knife, rather you have better options in other pistols if using the tack knife is what you want to do. I know some of you out there are probably going to disagree with me on this one. I just honestly hate the visual recoil enough that I prefer to use FMJ and place my shots. This pistol excels at this thanks to its small bullet spread, so that's the natural playstyle I've drifted to. Overall, the USP really is a good handgun. Its strengths are clear irons, good magazine size of 12 bullets, and since it comes with 2 spare mags, good ammo loadout. It's fairly accurate and can fit a variety of playstyles. What the pistol lacks in is unimpressive akimboed accuracy, visual recoil when tack knife, and limited bullet power. It's reliant on stopping power to be effective, which limits some of your options for how to use this pistol. Up next is the M9. The M9 is truly the brother of the USP in this game.
Brother, at last I've found you. Whoa, stay where you are. You may be good looking, but I'm not afraid to mess you up. Don't you see? You are my long-lost twin.
There really is very little that's different about this gun when you compare it to the USP. The shots do the same damage, 40 up close and 25 far away, meaning this is again stopping power optimal. And I'm also going to talk about this pistol assuming you picked stopping power. The main difference is you bring 15 bullet magazines rather than 12 bullet magazines, but the spread of the M9 bullets when you aim down the sight is overall just a bit bigger when compared to the USP. You should really tinker with both the M9 and USP to find which one you like better. Again, I recommend FMJ over extended mags when you go solo, but I feel I should point something out to you if you're going to use the solo version. It is ever so slight, but the irons are misaligned. It's not enough that it's unusable, but it's still there and may affect your gameplay. The failures of this gun don't stop there. Get ready for one of the most annoying design errors in the game. The silencer on this gun is defective. It doesn't work. I mean, sure, you can put it on your gun and you'll kill the effective range of the pistol and your shots sound silenced, but you still pop up on the frickin' radar.
No!
I don't know how Infinity Ward could screw it up like that, but they did. There's no incentive to go silent. You're gimping yourself if you do that. Use the USP if you're honestly going to use a silenced pistol. It's the only one that works. In theory, the akimbo version of the M9 is the superior version and why you should pick the M9 over the USP. You have the same size crosshairs as the USP, so that means it should be better because of the bigger magazine and ammo loadouts. The problem is the akimbo version has yet another really weird glitch to it. As you run with it, it will naturally pull to the right with every 2 steps and then come back to the left, which can get really annoying to look at and frustrating in combat. You would think Infinity Ward would catch things like this, but they failed.
That's not so hard. We could do that.
Piece of cake.
Ready, men? Charge!
If you can mentally get past this annoying glitch, then the M9 is your choice for going akimboed with a stopping power pistol. Again, steady aim isn't necessary, but definitely helps. The tack knife of this pistol is pretty similar to the USP. Don't use it. The visual recoil here is the strongest of all the pistols and is very annoying for me. So annoying, I prefer the Magnum yet again for using the tack knife. Also, the sights are yet again ever so slightly misaligned. Also, you load an invisible magazine with the tack knife version of the M9. You can do well with the M9 tack knife, but again, it's just that I don't recommend it. Overall, the M9 is just a glitched abomination from top to bottom, which really makes it bad. But, my opinion aside, it does have a few things going for it. It has good magazine size at 15 bullets, and since it comes with 2 spare mags, good ammo loadouts. It's fairly accurate and can fit a variety of playstyles. The pistol is again bad though because it has unimpressive akimboed accuracy, too much recoil when tack knifed, an assortment of weird glitches, and limited bullet power. Like the USP, it's reliant on stopping power to be effective. The basic rundown here between these two pistols is pretty simple. The USP and M9 are solid options when used solo. Though I have always preferred the USP both statistically and in practice. The akimbo versions are decent options, though the M9 has that really weird glitch that is just frankly annoying. The tack knife versions really aren't the way these pistols should be used. The all-purpose pistols are better at that. Well, that's it for the pistols. Please bear in mind that not everything I said is absolutely written in stone. With this review, I had to focus on what I felt were the more effective options because otherwise this would have been a really long review. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe. I'm Raging Amish, and until next time, have a good one.